Today we're going to fix eggplant parmesan and some chicken parmesan. First we're going to do the eggplant. I have cut up an eggplant that was about 1.5 pounds. What I did was that I peeled it with a potato peeler. I went ahead and salted it on both sides just a little bit to drain a little bit of the water from the eggplant. I rinsed it out after 15 minutes. I dried it up with paper towels, and now it's ready to be breaded. For the breading, we're going to need 2 eggs and 1/4 cup of water. Mix the eggs. To this, I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. My salt is the Himalayan salt, so if you notice it's going to be pink, but you can use table salt, sea salt, whatever your preference is. This should be ready. And now we're gonna fix the breading. The breading is 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and this is 3 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, and 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning. And this I'm just going to mix with my hand. Of course, you can use a fork or any kind of utensil to mix it up. But I like to use my hand because sometimes the Parmesan cheese crumbles up and you want to make sure that it dissolves in there. Okay. So this is ready. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pan on the fire, and I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of oil. Depending on the size of your pan, that's how much oil you use. Remember, we're going to fry them, so we're not be skimpy with the oil, but we're not going to put too much either. And we can always add a little bit more oil if we need to. And I have it on medium high. So I'm going to start the process. And I'm dipping it into the egg mixture, and then I'm going to put in the breadcrumbs. And I want to have a few ready for when the oil is ready. Okay, I can tell that the oil is hot. I'll drop it in there. I'm going to leave it on one side for about 2 minutes and then turn them over. I can always turn them back again. I think the best thing to do is when you mix the spices, because the pan is not going to take all one side. So it's good when you are preparing all sizes. That way you know you're taking advantage of the whole pan. Okay, we have fried all the patties. As you can see, I layered them so that they would drain the grease in there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray the dish that I'm going to prepare. Now I'm going to put in some arrabbiata sauce, and this is a Tuscan sauce that is already prepared. All I did was that I sprinkled a little bit of Italian seasoning in there, just maybe a quarter teaspoon. I'll pour a little bit. And I'm going to start layering. I have a cup and a half of mozzarella cheese here, and I have about almost a half a cup right here that I'm going to sprinkle on top. So I'm going to alternate this with the Parmesan cheese. I'm just going to make a second layer. And I'm going to do the same thing again. So this is layered already. What I'm going to do is on the last layer, I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of the Parmesan cheese. And whatever I have left of the mozzarella cheese. Put a little extra. I like to do this on the edges so that it can bubble up. And while this is in the oven, we're going to take care of the chicken Parmesan. The chicken Parmesan does not go in the oven, so while this bakes, we're going to fix the chicken Parmesan. Okay, this is ready. It's ready for the oven. Now something else that I do, this is just a tip, I like the little crunchiness of the breadcrumbs. So I spread a little bit. I probably like 2 tablespoons, tablespoon and a half. I had 2 tablespoons in this little dish. So I'm probably putting in like a tablespoon and a half. Okay? It's ready for the oven at 375 for 25 to 30 minutes. Now we're going to fix the chicken Parmesan while the eggplant Parmesan is in the oven. This one is to me, much more easy and quicker. So that's why I do this while the eggplant is getting baked in the oven. Okay, I'm going to put it in the egg mixture. It's the same ingredients. It's on the egg mixture and the breadcrumbs. The only thing is that on the breadcrumbs, I forgot something. You're going to add about a tablespoon and a half of panko. This will make it a little bit more crispier. So the pan should be hot. Put it in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. In the chicken, all I did was slice it about a 1/4 inch thick. I pounded it a little bit, not too much because it was already thin enough. And put a little bit of sprinkle black pepper and salt, and it was ready. And again, it's a little less than medium high. We'll just leave it at medium because we don't want the chicken to burn. When it comes to chicken, I try not to touch it with my hands. And this really come in handy. They're small. They have that rubber tip, and they are like a second hand to me. Or I should say a third hand. You want it to cook a little slower so you won't have to bake it. On the last 7 minutes of the Parmesan baking, we're going to put our pasta into water. I added about a teaspoon of salt into this pan full of water. Now we're back to the Parmesan chicken. I put a little bit of sauce at the bottom, and then I'm going to arrange the chicken. Because the chicken is going to go on top of the pasta, I'm not going to drench it in the sauce. I'm just going to put enough for the cheese to melt on top of the thing. And I'm just going to sprinkle some Parmesan cheese. Of course, this is to taste. You can put as much as you want. And then some mozzarella cheese. And this goes into the oven for a few minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, just to melt the cheese. And the oven is still at 375. Our dish is out of the oven, the eggplant Parmesan. As you can see, it's still bubbling. And I'm going to just layer the chicken Parmesan on top of the pasta and show you the finished product. And now I'm going to put in some hot pasta sauce. And all I did was sprinkle a little bit of the Italian seasoning, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon into this, just to give it flavor. And now I'm going to drizzle this over the chicken Parmesan and let the sauce run down to where the pasta is. I hope you fix this Italian dinner and enjoy it. And I should say, bon appetit. God bless.